What is up, guys, and welcome to Aeterno UK with myself, Joe, once again, and we are here in Australia for part number 1 of our F1 2014 Community Career Mode, jumping into the Force India we're going to be driving this season. But before we do any racing, I'm going to talk you through the Community Career. So then, guys, welcome to the F1 2014 Community Career Mode, a unique idea by myself. And just a quick overview of what it's all about. I'm going to be having a guest commentator for each qualifying session. So a fellow F1 YouTuber is going to be commentating my qualifying, giving me a setup to use for the race weekend. So yeah, we're going to be doing a few tweaks in practice sessions. And also a race strategy, obviously assuming there are predictable conditions. So like if there's a 50% chance of rain and it stops raining, it's obviously going to be my call to when to change onto the right set of tyres. But just a few general details. We're going to be driving for Force India in 50% races, although there are going to be some 100% races, sort of the crown jewels of the calendar. 2 videos every week, so check your sub boxes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm going to be doing it in the first person, so driving as myself rather than sort of an alter ego. But that's about it, and now it's time for the Community Career Mode.
Alright, thank you very much, Joe. My name is Niran and my channel is FlyingNirangatang, and today I have the absolute pleasure of commentating over Joe's qualifying lap, as well as giving him a race setup and a race strategy as part of his community career. It's an honour to be here, and it's an honour to commentate over his video and over his qualifying lap. So we're here in a very sunny looking Australia as per usual in these new fangled Formula 1 cars. Of course, we've got ERS this year instead of KERS. One thing that we still do have is DRS, and that letterbox is firmly open as Joe travels now down the start-finish straight to start his first lap in Q1 down towards turn 1. And this Force India, it was lacking a bit of traction by the looks of things, certainly there through turn 1 and 2, and later on in the lap as Romain Grosjean sets a lap that I cannot see on my tiny preview. It looks like I won 36.4, we'll go for something like that. Again, struggling hugely out of the traction zones though. 3 little bits of oversteer and coming towards the line. Are we going to beat Romain Grosjean? We go 4th, in fact. It's Jean-Eric Vergne who's now quickest, and Joe suddenly drops down to 5th there as well. So struggling hugely with this car at the moment. The Force India looking like a massive deal to drive at this moment in time. But a purple first sector looking a little bit better for Joe's second or third. Is it third? I've lost count already. Hopefully it's second, otherwise I'm going to look like a complete dirt. And it's still purple through the second sector, through that flip-flap chicane. But later on in the lap, and look at this, an absolute mong move from Valtteri Bottas. I think that is in the Williams, and that's held Joe up an absolute treat on this lap. He was purple through both the first 2 sectors, and with a huge amount of oversteer yet again, this Force India looks like a real handle to drive. It's really not looking brilliant as well. Across the line for 4th place, that Valtteri Bottas blocking, get Charlie Whiting on the phone. That's really ruined Joe's lap. And now moving on to another lap. This is lap 3, so I was wrong the last time. I do apologise for that. We're coming through this last corner, which is looking like something that's going to be very crucial for not only qualifying but the race as well. This traction zone is absolutely horrendous for people driving. It doesn't seem to be as bad for the AI, but a much better lap there, putting Joe in 2nd place at the time, and just rounding out Q1 now. It looks as if he's going to make it through pretty easily into 13th place, but it was a bit of a struggle in the end. Obviously those few laps where he wasn't quite quick enough to make it through, but a decent lap in the end there from Joe to make it in 13th place, in front of Kevin Magnussen there. We've lost Romain Grosjean and Esteban Gutierrez there by the looks of things, as well as the Caterhams and Marushas. But now we're going to move into Q2, and as you can see there, just flicking up into rich fuel mixture to end the second lap, there for Joe, and it puts him into 6th place at the moment. Sebastian Vettel actually quickest at the moment. Nico Hülkenberg just in front of Joe, and we're now going to start the final lap here of Q3. This is going to be absolutely crucial because at the moment Joe is in the drop zone, and making it through to Q3 could be very crucial here for the race. Especially with the strategy that I've got coming up from. You'll hear about that a little bit later on, but it's a PB so far for Joe, 5 tenths up and 3 tenths up, coming through the 2nd sector as well, through this quick flip-flap chicane, cutting that second half like it's absolutely nobody's business there, Joe. I saw that was cheeky, but nevertheless, ending the lap here. We're coming towards the last few corners through this 90-degree corner and coming towards the slightly faster 90-degree right-hand corner. These 2 corners after this will be crucial, the penultimate and last corner, because these are horrendous at the moment for oversteer. Will Joe do a good job through the penultimate corner? It's looking pretty good so far, a slight little bit of oversteer, but nothing too major. We're aiming at the 128 dead at the moment by Valtteri Bottas. He's on the bubble. He's in 10th place at the moment. Joe currently in 15th. This needs to be a 128 dead to make it out of Q2 and into the shootout, but it's only good enough to put him into 14th place. It's going to take some hard work from there in the race, but of course there's lots of positions to be gained on that first lap. The AI are just another level of slow on the first lap on this game. Still, as you can see, the objective there was to come 11th place, so it'll take a bit of effort in the race. Those primes will have to be made to work and last for quite some time. I think that's what some people have been struggling with so far on this game around this track, but certainly not over a pretty decent effort there in qualifying in a car that looked absolutely disgusting to drive. Okay, so in terms of the setup, we're going to need something that's going to try and combat that Force India oversteer, because to be honest, in qualifying it looked absolutely horrendous. So we've gone for 11 front wing angle and 7 rear wing angle. A quite high wing angle there to try and combat that understeer and oversteer as well. We've also got 52% and 48% in the favour of the right hand side and high pressure, that's for the brakes. 11-11 on front and rear anti-roll bars. 11-1-11-11 in terms of suspension, that's overall. And then alignment, we've got -3.5, -1.5 and 0.15, with 0.5 being the last option. Finally, we've just got the race strategy. That's going to be option, we're going to start off on, and primes for the second stint, and then options again. So it'll be a two-stop strategy. Don't know how that's going to work. I hope I haven't been too harsh on Joe, because the tyre wear is going to be absolutely atrocious at the end of the race on those option tyres. But that's pretty much it from me. Thank you very much to Joe for having me on his video. It was an absolute pleasure. And yeah, we're going to cross back over to him for the race and all the action. So have a good day, guys, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Massive thanks to Niran for that qualifying report. Make sure you go and check his channel out, FlyingNirangatang. But now we've got the lights for the Australian Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go. And off the line, we are already getting mugged by Adrian Sutil, who's coming behind us, and as is Roman Grosjean. And we're down to 16th before turn 1, but we plough down into turns 1 and 2, already up to 11th as we manage to pick our way through the slow first lap AI. And now on the way down to turn 3, we're possibly going to lunge it up the inside. Yes, we are. There's a Mercedes which we're ahead of now, and we're up to 5th position. Absolutely superb. And if we can manage to just keep it here as Alonso fires off into the distance, then hopefully Niran's strategy will pay off. Not quite sure about the setup yet. We'll have to see how that fares. But as we skip onto lap 2, we're going around the outside of Alonso, who's going slowly into the final sector. We're running side by side with him. Are we going to get the move done? Yes, we do. At the end of lap 2. And that is a lovely move on Fernando Alonso. And we are up to 4th position. And this final corner, you know, as we said in qualifying, it's caused huge problems for us all weekend. And unfortunately, Alonso got much better traction, and that meant that he just flew past us on the straight. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing we could do there, but we managed to gain a little bit on him in turn 1, but our traction out of turn 2 was nearly as bad as the last corner. So we stood no chance of passing the 2-times world champion from 2005 and 2006. But come lap 3, we were in the DRS zone of Alonso, and that gives you some sort of idea of how much time we were losing in that final sector. And Nico Rosberg in the far superior Mercedes has absolutely breezed past us as if we weren't even there. We're dropping places left, right and centre at the moment, and unfortunately it doesn't look as if we're going to make any of those places back. I'd be more than satisfied with this 6th position. Although Nico Hülkenberg is somehow up in 2nd place. Come lap 5, we were on the tail of Daniel Ricciardo, and maybe we're going to put it up the inside. Yes, we are, and we force him into thinking about what he's going to do into turn 4. We go around the outside of him in an unorthodox passing place, but we get the move done for 5th position, and we are up into a double-figure point-scoring place. But come the end of lap 6, Ricciardo was back on our tail again, and using that DRS to full effect in his Red Bull. And yeah, he gets us for P5 once more, although we're going to try and come back at him now at the start of lap 7. No DRS for us, obviously, seeing as the detection point was way back on the last sector of lap 6. So Ricciardo, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the last that we see of the Red Bull driver, because our tyres are really starting to go off now. And come the end of lap 8, we've got so much oversteer. And the setup that we got given by Niran, obviously the 11-11 on the suspension means that those rear tyre, or just the general tyre wear, is going to be increased. Especially the rear tyres just seem to be burning up this year. But we're only one off our target lap. We're going to stick to what he says what he says that we should do, but that isn't what we should have been doing. We've been let out behind Button and I believe Sebastian Vettel as well, and that is just so unfortunate for us. It really is. That is such a shame, that because we were holding him up nicely. Unfortunately, when we're on the attack, we just can't get these faster cars. And now we've even got Max Chilton trying to pass us in the Marussia. The tyres, when you come out the pit lane, they don't seem really that cold, which is surprising, but we lunge it up the inside of Button. Who saw that move coming? I definitely didn't. We're up into P13, but we've still got a few cars who haven't pitted yet, so that'll be interesting to see where we feed back into. Button is going down the inside of us. He's on the option tyres, so we shouldn't be worrying too much about him. I don't think we're going to be seeing him for the rest of the race either. And unfortunately, that takes us out of a point-scoring place as Massa also goes up down our inside. Amazing move from the Brazilian. I didn't see that one coming. And we think better of lunging up his inside as well. And come lap 11, Massa has had a problem and he's run wide. We're up into 11th place. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Felipe, but we're up into 11th. But come lap 15, we're suffering awful oversteer issues with this car. I know it's early days with this game, but we just can't seem to get into the groove of this Force India, as we're promoted up into 10th place due to Bottas pitting. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get used to this game eventually. It's just at the moment we're really just looking for that optimal setup, and I'm going to have to work with the guys that are commentating as well. We're all going to have to work together in the practice sessions to try and use them effectively and just try and find the best setups. I mean, maybe it isn't just a copy and paste from F1 2013, and maybe if we take a little bit off the rear suspension, then that might stop that back end from stepping out all the time. We're marginal on fuel at the moment as we cut to lap 20, and the end of lap 20 means that we are coming to our final pit stop. So hopefully the Force India guys can give us a better stop than they did last time, although it wasn't really their problem. Well, it was slightly, because they did a slower stop than the McLaren and Red Bull guys. So what can these guys do for me? 4-second pit stop. We got held up by Kvyat, and things just aren't going our way today. I mean, we're down in P11, and I think Bottas has still got to pit again. I believe he's still got to come in, but he'll be on fresh rubber, and as we put it back up into standard mix, we're marginal on fuel, as I say. And, you know, if Bottas comes out behind us, we're really going to have to fend him off in that fast Williams, especially in a straight line. We are up into 10th place now as Bottas is behind us. And we're really starting to feel as if this is a little bit of a grind. As we come on to lap 24, we're starting to catch Vettel a slight bit, as he's 13.3 seconds up the road. I believe we managed to get that gap slightly down as Button is now in 9th. As you can see, there are some back markers ahead, which I think where it went wrong for Button, but Bottas has flown past us for P10, and we have been absolutely mugged out of the point-paying positions. And at the start of lap 28, we've only got 2 laps to catch Bottas again. And as we come out of turn 2, he's going to have the DRS, and that Williams is so quick in a straight line. There is no chance we're going to pass him now, surely. And we're coming up to some back markers, which might actually help Bottas get the DRS at the end of lap 28 and mean that it's not going to really be of any advantage to us. We have to knock it up into rich mix, but now we're closing on Bottas. Maybe we're going to make a move down the inside of him. We think better of it, and now we've got a Caterham ahead. I believe it's Kamui Kobayashi, but what is he doing? He's parked it, and Bottas has just run into him. And once again, Kamui's on the apex. We bump into Bottas. We pass Kobayashi, but we're going to let Bottas back through. You know, it's only fair, really. You know, he got completely mugged by Kobayashi, so it's only fair, really, that we let Valtteri back through, as he's harvesting energy like no tomorrow down this pit straight. We're gaining, but it's not enough. We gained so much through turn 1, but unfortunately our rear traction is so poor out of turn 2. Although we've got the DRS, this is probably going to be our final chance to get a point in this race, but no, we're too far back. Lewis Hamilton wins the race, and we are still in P11 in our debut in the Australian Grand Prix. But now, the end of lap 29, we're gaining on Bottas down this back straight, And now we're maybe going to make a move down the inside. Yes, we do. We're side by side with Bottas going into the DRS zone. And maybe we're going to make a move down the inside. Yes, we do. We've made it. And now we've just got 2 corners. Although we know how bad our traction is off the final corner. And now we've just got to steady up that rear end. We put it into Rich Mix just to make sure. He's going to come down our inside. Look how wrecked our tyres are. We're -1 on fuel. How much action is there? But we get 10th place. And boy, we've scored points in the first race of the season in an absolute dog of a car. Our teammate has somehow got 3rd place. But boy, I cannot wait till we get some research and development parts on this car. We have crawled home in 10th position. A huge 1 minute 18 off the lead. And, well, what an exciting race it was. An exciting qualifying session as well. And all in all, it was just an exciting race. As you can see, our teammate is on the podium, and that means that obviously the Drivers' Championship is going to be the same as the race results, seeing as we're only in round 1. But the Constructors is looking good for us at the moment, and that is just about it for today. Once again, a huge thanks to Niran for the qualifying report. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Subscribe if you want more of these career mode videos. But until Malaysia, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.